Welcome to Yoga and Wellness Tips. I'm Veronica Munoz from Hockleyyoga.Ca, and I'm here to share with you some new tips and techniques as to how to incorporate the wisdom and practice of yoga into your everyday life. Today I'm going to talk a little bit further more about how to grow your own sprouts. As you all well know by now, I follow a living plant-based food diet, and that's just because it's the greatest diet to align all our values, our ethics, and feel the interconnectedness with everything that is living around us, and also to improve our flexibility body-wise in terms of our physical bodies, as well as the nourishment of the body inside and all the organs and all the oxygen that it provides to our organs, and also the openness that it creates in our mind and the clarity of mind. So at all levels, it seems to be, at least for me, the optimal diet, and the one diet that takes the least energy from me and provides me with the most nourishment and the most energy, so I can be the most productive and positive in my life. But that is, of course, a personal choice. Having said that, the other great positive thing about the raw living diet is that you can grow part of your own food, and you can feel that you're an active participant in that component of your life, and therefore you enjoy your nutrition so much more because you're growing your own food right off your windowsill. So different than sunflower sprouts and barley sprouts and other sprouts that they require a medium to grow, there are many other seeds that are more friendly to grow in water environments where you don't have to bother with all the dirt and planting and seeding and the more long-term growing until you have a mature sprout that you can put in your salad or eat in any way you want. I personally love to use broccoli sprouts or a spring salad mix that contains many different seeds, such as this one that has radish and red clover and alfalfa. Broccoli sprouts are amazing as well. So they can come in little packages, or you can order them online wholesale and they will last you longer. Something like this may last me, believe it or not, a whole year. So it's really great in terms of creating a large volume of food for a very minimum amount of money. Plus you have the control that you can afford to eat organic food that way. And the great advantage of growing sprouts is not only all the nourishment in terms of its nutritional value because of the minerals and all the different proteins and excellent essential oils that the seeds may have, but also the fact that you're waking up all the enzymes in them, and those are very nourishing long-term to your health and will ensure that you have a very long life full of energy and radiance at all levels. But also because they multiply, so you'll see that you will start with a small amount of seeds and you're going to end up with quite a bulk amount. So that is quite interesting to observe. So you need maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons only to produce quite a large number that may last you for the entire week. So I personally like to grow my sprouts in water weekly, and I always have a constant supply. And you can use your windowsill. It doesn't have to be direct light, very easy to do. It only takes rinsing twice a day. It doesn't have to be complicated. And all you need is any kind of jar, any shape that you want to use, and you're going to access your seeds. So you'll open your seeds and you'll decide if you want to grow that full growth. You'll put a couple of tablespoons inside, and then immediately after, when you're done, you're going to simply add water to that. So you'll add water. You'll simply leave them sitting. It doesn't have to be in a dark place. Some people believe they have to be in a dark place. I personally make it as simple as possible. I just keep it on the countertop like this overnight. And again, there's different instructions and directions as to how long you should be soaking the seeds, each particular seed, for longer or shorter periods of time. I personally don't bother. I used to, but I just soak the seeds anywhere between 6 hours and overnight. Most of the time I place them in the jar underwater, and then I remember the next day to drain them. So basically, once they've been soaking overnight, like these ones, you'll notice these are fenugreek. You'll notice they're excellent to prevent migraine headaches, Once they've been soaking overnight, then you are ready to continue, and I'm going to grab here what you'll need. So here I am with the tools that I need, and these are this mesh, and you can just even buy them in the Home Depot from when you do the window screening for the mosquitoes in the summer, and you'll grab that along with an elastic band. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just whatever works, just to create the air pressure around it and hold it in place. So this is what it's going to look like. The seeds will swell through the night because they're starting to get moisture and activating their enzyme process, and therefore all the growth inhibitors that were preventing the seed in its dry form from sprouting are going to start being activated and being released into the water. So you do want to wash that. And basically all you do is you go to your kitchen sink, or you grab a bowl and you basically empty that. And you see there's a little bit of coloring in the water. And then you add just a little bit more water. And you can do this process 2 or 3 times. It doesn't have to be too many times. And you shake, shake, shake a little bit. That's what I like to do, not too much. And especially once they start growing, because you don't want to disrupt any roots, any sprouting that is happening on the seed. And once that is drained, and they've been soaking, as I said, overnight, all you have to do is grab a bowl like this and sit them either on your windowsill or just against the counter wall, whatever works for you, on the side. And you'll notice that this way, inclined at a 45-degree angle, they can still drain all the remains of the water, but they still remain quite moist, because the fact that they're inside a jar, first of all, allows the light and the air through the mesh to get through, but it also keeps some of the humidity content, considering that there is that enclosed environment, so it keeps them nice and warm. Optimal conditions for sprouting. And you're going to leave them just like this. Don't have to worry about them. And then before I go to sleep every night, I do exactly the same process. I will come and put more water in and kind of swirl them a little bit, and once again drain them. And kind of like ensure that all the water is gone, and just leave them sitting there. And that's it. When you do that for a couple of days, you'll notice a difference. So I have some here that have been sprouting for a few days, and I think this is on day 3 or 4, but you can see how they're starting to bulk up and take more room inside the jar, and you can see that the tails are getting a little bit longer. The next thing I'll do probably in the next couple of days is that you'll start seeing little green leaves growing. At that point, I'll put them as close as possible, again, not in direct light, it's not needed, to a windowsill, and you'll see that they'll really get dark green and beautiful. At that point, it's time to say they're full grown. The difference between eating a full mature plant, for example, a full broccoli, as to a broccoli sprout, is that the broccoli sprout, which, believe it or not, comes in these little tiny seeds, contain, once it's grown to the sprout, to the maximum life force of the sprout, 10 times sometimes the nutrition of eating the actual mature broccoli. So it's better for you, easier to digest, because it's considered soft-digested food, because all the enzymes are so alive, and they will nourish your body beautifully. It will show in your skin, it will show in your energy, in your spirit. So I highly recommend it. It's affordable, easy, fun to do. You can't go wrong growing your own sprouts. Go for it, and perhaps when these ones are ready, I will show you what they look like. Have fun sprouting all your seeds and becoming the very best in you. Namaste.